got the knowledge in store. Oh yeah, Alan Lang watching tropical flair. Movie and TV show reviews what you need. Film threads on fire, we're planting the seeds. Film thread, we keep it real. Dive into the stories, you know the deal. Turn your phone, it's the place to be. Movie lovers gather round. 1, 2, 3. From blockbusters to indie gold. Oh yeah, Chris and Alan break the mold.
Happy Friday. Welcome everyone to a big show today. This will be the most important live stream you watch today because we have it. We have more Kathleen Kennedy Star Wars news and some breaking news we will break on the show about the state of Star Wars, including Kathleen Kennedy's recent speech where she receives an award. We have the full video, plus our early social media reaction to Daredevil Born Again. It's mostly good. I have concerns. Plus, movies playing in theaters like Last Breath, Heart Willie, and more. Alaning here is waiting in the wings. Plus, our Oscar predictions and our watch party this weekend. Even more. So much more. So stick around and get ready. It's the Film Threat Livecast on a Friday. It's here. It's finally here. I love it. Let's go. And I know he's here. Let's go old school. Where is he?
Alan!
Are you ready? Are you ready for our biggest show?
I'm ready for our most compacted show with all this stuff that we can't
have
possibly fit in 2
so
hours.
much news. We went over all the news that we're talking about today. It's going to be big. Lots of reviews too. So I'm excited. I'm very excited. So there's a lot of people here. Let's see who's here and let's say hi.
All right. One punch Tolkien, One Punch Man Tolkien fan, Hail Goring.
Nice.
Z Springer. Happy Friday, everyone. Slim Jim 491, member for 14 month. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you.
Right. And Suns and Shadows. How many cups of coffee for Chris? I got 0, starting his first.
Second cup. My second cup, folks. There you go.
And MK Solid, Alan was all fired up last night. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on yesterday. Daredevil being one of them.
MK Solid, always memeing us. And Lord Thoth says, like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, sign up as a member, join us on X, Discord, Rumble, and Instagram, and buy our merch. Go to shop.filmthreat.com. We are days away from our award this shirts being gone for this year. So go to shop.filmthreat.com. Shop the Oscar collection here. We have shirts, mugs. I was wearing my hat last night at the info list pre-Oscar soiree. I had my award this hat. It's very fashionable. There we go. So you can pick up one along with mugs and pint glasses and all that stuff. I love this stuff. It's sort of like part like a little tribute to award season, but only for a limited time. So there we go, folks. Pick it up. Just days away from that being gone forever, like some Disney collection or whatnot. All right. Real quick, your final reminder. Watch the Oscars watch party on Sunday, March 2nd. We will start at 4 p.m. Pacific time. I'm very excited. A quick announcement, though. Az from Heel versus Babyface is not joining us. He is unable to do it. He is overcommitted, and we wish him luck. Even though he's been at the Oscars watch party every year for like 3 years. It's only a once-a-year event. He has games to play and super chat square ups to do, and we wish him luck in all his future endeavors. So there will be a community note in advance for this video.
Hey everyone, Chris Gore here, and I am at the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences Museum, and this is your friendly reminder to watch the Film Threat Oscar Watch Party on Sunday, March 2nd. Alan Ng will be there, Az from Heel vs. Babyface, Verbal Riot Show Dante James, and of course Gary from the Nerdrotic is Toxic channel. So join us as we watch the Oscars together, kind of suffer through it. You need us. And I have one Oscar prediction that comes true every year, and that prediction is it will be boring. Unless you watch us, then it'll be a lot of fun.
So remember, no Az, but everyone else, a lot of other guests, the DA, Derek Anderson, Angry Badger will be there. Steph from My Her Nerdy Home, X-Ray Girl, a lot of people that, you know, YouTube personalities. We're all watching the Oscars together and we will have fun. Okay. We have a bundle of news stories. We will get to Kathleen Kennedy and Star Wars news, but right up top, we have to say, Gene Hackman lived to the ripe old age of 95, died tragically with his
wife and his dog.
I don't know what the circumstances are. Alan, if you would, I saw your post. You did the most original post about it. A tribute to him. You know, sometimes you forget how many amazing movies he's been in. Gene Hackman had this incredible scene played totally straight in Young Frankenstein, and you paid tribute in a post. Alan, your thoughts on Gene Hackman?
Yeah,
I mean, I love him. He's, I mean, everything from The French Connection to obviously Lex Luthor. I don't think he made that work so well. It wasn't really true to the comics. It was true to the character. And the reveal that his hair was a wig was just funny at the end. I mean, I don't know. Sorry, spoiler, but he's iconic, incredible. And you always knew no matter what he was doing, he was fantastic. So he will be missed. Alan, your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, I was just going over the IMDb and I must have seen at least 20 of his movies. I didn't think it would be that many. The one that stands out most to me is Hoosiers. I think, if anything, it's just the story. It's the underdog story, but it's also the story of redemption. And that story of redemption just plays all the way throughout. And the thing I'll say about Gene Hackman is it's not like this guy was necessarily a character actor in the sense that he would create a character and with an accent. And it was basically every movie you saw was Gene Hackman, and it was his line delivery. The way, you look at each one, even Young Frankenstein, he's playing a variation of Gene Hackman in that, but it was so effective and so memorable. And and so he hasn't made movies in a very long time, and he's still missed in terms of you wish there was someone like him on the screen today, and I fail at the moment to think of someone who I think even comes close.
We are losing, and he was the kind of guy that, could you say he's good looking or handsome? I mean, yes. Yeah. He's also sort of a mix between handsome and character actor. I feel like those are kind of separate now. There's at least two newer actors that have come up, there's a sameness about them. They're the same type of good looking, and I miss great character actors.
Yeah. Well, I'll just say the word presence. He has a presence on film. Okay.
Yeah. Let's go to comments here.
Mathew Hammond for a tier list of Gene Hackman movies on Monday's Versus.
We will do that.
Hertz Donut. They couldn't make Hoosiers today.
No way.
And I don't know why. I don't know why you couldn't. Razorburn, Crimson Tide, the GOAT, in my opinion, for Hackman movies. C. Stein 69, Unforgiven, and French Connection were the all-time greats.
Yeah, Unforgiven. I mean, just amazing. Mm-hmm. All right. We've got a lot to go through right now, but we talked about last week that I speculated, I think Kathleen Kennedy is gone, and why? Because she is getting awards. She has recently received 2 major lifetime achievement career awards, not for a specific movie. And we will get to the full video of her acceptance speech. It's about 4 minutes. We will get to it. But Kathleen Kennedy had to respond to all of these videos. We did a video over a week ago, but angry, and then a bunch of people did videos early in the week, and it actually made the trades. The Reporter, whatnot, all wrote stories about this. And here's a quote from one of those, from our friend Angry Badger. Here it is. Kathleen Kennedy says, the truth is, I want to just say this loud and clear, I am not retiring. I will never retire from movies. I will die making movies. That is the first thing that's important to say. I am not retiring. What's happening at Lucasfilm is I have been talking for quite some time with both Bob and Alan about what eventual succession might look like. We have an amazing bench of people here, and we have every intention of making an announcement months or a year down the road. We are in lockstep as to what that's going to be. And I am continuing. I'm producing Mandalorian, the movie, right now. And I'm also producing Sean Levy's movie, which is after that. So I'm continuing to stay at Lucasfilm and looking very thoughtfully with Bob and Alan as to who's stepping in. So that is all underway. And we have every right to make that announcement when we want to make it. Basically, she is confirming what we said. Like, I'm going to retire when I say I'm retired. So make of that what you will. But she definitely responded, and Alan, I don't know what your thoughts are. I think this is BS. And like, look, I mentioned 2 things on the Nooner this week. I said there are 2 things that will happen. They'll get someone like a big personality to run it. It could be Favreau. It could be someone from the outside. Yes, it could be Feige could leave Marvel and run Lucasfilm, or they will hire from within. It sounds like Kathleen Kennedy wants them to hire from within, and Kathleen wants to choose who that person is. Thoughts on her comments, Alan? And then I'm going to show this video.
Yeah, I like how she says, we'll have an announcement months or a year from now. It just seems like the more we say, oh, here's when she's going to retire, it feels like that kind of news only extends her ultimately making that news, because I don't think she will allow herself to get scooped. She wants to be fully in control of the announcement, and if a rumor comes out there that happens to be close to the date she wants to announce, she'll just extend it out. So I feel like we're just extending this. Maybe we should just calm things down and let her finally announce it.
Let's go to comments here, and then we will show this video. And I haven't seen it. We will react together.
Okay. Bimo Better. KK will continue to be a producer, but is planning to step away from running Lucasfilm.
Yeah, that's exactly what she said. I think it's very confirming.
Gung Ho Mac. Somehow Kathleen has returned.
Like
I read that
Palpatine.
wrong. Almost read that wrong. Scott Chrissy Jones. It's my birthday Sunday. I'd be very offended if you didn't have a lovely weekend.
Scott Christy Jones, a member and supporter of this channel. Have a great birthday Sunday. Join us for our Oscar watch party if you care, and have a great birthday. Alan?
ADL's 24. Like Leo in Wolf of Wall Street, KK is screaming to the heavens, I'm not effing leaving.
That's right. She is not going anywhere. All right. This is a video I will play for you. It's 4 minutes. I'll play it uninterrupted, and Alan and I will talk on the other side. This is her ASC Awards acceptance speech. Someone introduces her. She comes up and gives the speech. I'm told it's a very good speech. What can we read into it? We'll talk about it on the other side. Alan, are you ready for this speech?
Yeah.
Here we go. Alan, what are you doing, Alan?
I'm unstoring comments.
Well, there you go. All right, let's take a look at KK's speech. We'll talk on the other side.
Thank you. And thank you, Greg. He came here from London as well. You know, I'm one of those people I wish the reel could just play and then I could just say thank you. But there's so many people in this room that make me feel so incredibly honored to be recognized by the ASC. And I wanted to say something tonight about the fires. And I think what's already been said is so eloquent, and I'm so amazed at the work that's being done by the AFC, and then to hear Bob Beecher talk about what's going on with the MPTF is just absolutely fantastic. As you honor me, I really want to honor you for creating the magic in movies. One of the most critical choices for a producer is assembling the right team, the talent that brings the script to life. It's a collaboration often defined by the look of the movie or the show. As Roger Deakins puts it, it's not about the bloody technology, it's about the person behind it. I have been incredibly fortunate to work with some of the greatest cinematographers of our time. Looking back, I realize I've worked with more than 30 remarkable cinematographers, and each one has helped shape my journey as a producer. They have taught me the value of the image, the power of visual storytelling, and the true magic of cinema. Dougie Slocum worked with arc lights and VistaVision cameras, gave Raiders of the Lost Ark an undeniably warm, rich look, a template that became nearly impossible to duplicate. Alan Davio, testing aspect ratios for E.T., debating 1:8:5 versus anamorphic, using a hard mat to ensure the film's image was fully protected on the big screen. Bob Richardson experimented with bleach bypass on snow falling on cedars, creating a visual language that shaped the movie's emotional tone. Janusz Kaminski crafted the gaslit look of Lincoln to capture the authentic atmosphere of the 19th century. Steve Yedlin, his meticulous work on The Last Jedi, explored the evolving relationship between digital imaging and film, pushing the conversation forward. These creative discussions have shaped my growth as a filmmaker and deepened my appreciation for how a story is told through the lens. More recently, my collaboration with Greg Fraser on Rogue One and The Mandalorian has reinforced this understanding. His deep knowledge of cinematic history informs every modern frame he crafts. He has been a true pioneer, helping to define the evolution of cinematography. My love of movies is inseparable from my love of cinematography. It is the soul of storytelling. I have endless admiration for all of you who bring images to life and create the emotion, depth, and magic on the screen. And I am unbelievably thrilled to hear that there are 46 new female members of the ASC who I look forward to working with one day. Tonight is a celebration not just of my journey, but of all of yours. The cinematographers, the visual poets, the magicians behind the lens. Several years ago, at the Telluride Film Festival, I had the pleasure of meeting John Alton. His book, Painting with Light, was essential reading for anyone who attended film school, including me. He was in his 90s, reflecting on his life, when a young filmmaker in the audience asked, "Mr. Alton, what advice would you give a young cinematographer today?" Alton paused and he said, "Be nice." I think that's the perfect sentiment to leave you with tonight. Thank you.
Did she say Riders of the Lost Ark? I think she misspoke.
Oh, maybe she did.
Look,
I didn't know that.
it's a very good speech. It would make a great retirement speech. She's going over her career in detail, explaining all her accomplishments on Riders of the Lost Ark. She paid tribute to cinematographers. She knows the audience. So look, there's not anything revelatory in it other than I'm telling you, when you get Lifetime Achievement Awards, that means your career is done. And they're saying, here's the door. Alan, your thoughts, and we'll go to chat.
Yeah, I listen to that speech and I wonder, did she say anything that was anything that you wouldn't say at a cinematographer's award? I mean, it just seems like, I don't know. It just seems like very generic, very uninspired. I think it's more of a thanks to the cinematographers she's worked with, which makes me then think she's getting the award because she'd hired a lot of them. Is that how that works? I mean, I'm being very cynical here.
Look, I have read American Cinematographer magazine since I was a teenager. I love the magazine. It's about the craft of filmmaking. It is really hardcore. If you want to make film and make films that look beautiful, you read this magazine. And so I've read it since I was a kid, and it really gets into the, just the finer details of filmmaking. And there are only a few hundred, I think it's like 400-ish cinematographers. She did do the shout out to female cinematographers. She's all about pushing that female power agenda. She put that in the speech.
Yeah.
Fine. It's fine. But, I agree with Sons and Shadows in the chat. She is no filmmaker. She's a producer. Yeah. Correct. She wants to be a creative filmmaker. She is a producer. Now, there are creative producers. I do not think she's one. And I think that this will not be the last Lifetime Achievement Award she will get. I think next year at the Oscars, she's going to get an award. I'm predicting it now. 1 year from now, KK will get a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Oscars after she retires in the fall of this year. Final thoughts, and we'll go to chat.
Yeah.
And then I have some major breaking news. I can't wait to tell you.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if she won the Irving Thalberg Award. Yeah, she did. She did win the Irving Thalberg Award already.
Well, they'll give her another one. Anyway,
yeah.
Alan, your thoughts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If
you don't have any thoughts, Alan, it's okay.
We're just in those weird places with her, and it's like people just want to see Star Wars move on to something great, and it's like, please just either go in the right direction or give it up and give it to someone who will. That's all.
Let's go to the comments here in the chat. All right, Alan, I need you to pay attention to the show and be with the show.
I know, and I'm trying.
What are you doing?
I'm doing things behind the scenes for the show. Brandon Powell, member for 1 month. If you could have given KK award at award this, she would have retired. It's Film Threat's fault. She's still here. Yeah, Chris.
We could get a Kathleen Kennedy imitator to receive an award at award this, the retirement award. Thank you, Brandon.
Yeah, Goon. We have a wine mom running Star Wars. She sounds slushed.
A little slushed.
She's having a good time. MK Solid, what she did to Warwick Davis and the Willow IP was almost murder.
It was IP murder.
Kathleen
IP
Kennedy.
murder.
Yes, she's already been convicted once of IP murder.
Yeah.
Are you there was something up there and then you took it off and then there's nothing back?
Let's talk about what I have heard. I have heard some news, and we don't do gossip on this channel. We react to things, we'll do commentary, but Alan and I both get a lot of information from people in the industry. a lot of information. And, you know, we know things. We don't want to betray those relationships, but I like to be very careful about breaking news because I don't want to turn into one of those gossip sites. But we hear things and we speculate about things based on our knowledge of the industry. And I am told from a friend in the industry that Disney has been shopping Star Wars for sale. They have been shopping the brand. They've been putting feelers out for the last 7 months. Now, part of my purpose with sharing this information with you is that this will become a story and other sources will feel comfortable speaking about this. So, this is from a friend who is not in the nerd space, not in the YouTube space, not a media person. This is a friend in the world of finance. So, a trusted individual who says for 7 months, they have put feelers out about selling Star Wars. Now, it's unclear if they are selling Star Wars or they're selling Lucasfilm as part of Star Wars or the whole thing. Is it the whole thing? I don't know. But this is what I've been told. And I want to put this story out there so that other sources will feel comfortable confirming this. Normally, when you talk about a news story, you have to have two sources to confirm. I am telling you, this is unconfirmed through one source from the world of finance that Disney is shopping Star Wars and or Lucasfilm. I'm not sure. I am asking for people who might have information to come forward and let us know. Now, can we speculate? What would this look like? They have a lot of things, irons in the fire. Star Wars is a category on Disney Plus, one of their most lucrative categories. Maybe that could be argued. But if Star Wars is for sale, is it the rights to the films? Are they parsing rights? As Marvel's, the rights for the Marvel properties is parsed among, I mean, it was, it's Sony. It used to be Fox. Then they bought Fox. It's a lot of different relations. Even merch is kind of parsed out. Could this be a deal where they're parsing pieces of Star Wars, selling off, say, the merchandise or other pieces? I don't know. It could be very complex. Even if you're well aware that, Marvel even started, Iron Man was put out by Paramount. So rights can be parsed out. I feel this could be a good move. Maybe it's only the movies. Who knows? Alan, your speculation will go to your comments. And this is really a call for other people I know in the space who may have information to confirm that this is happening. Alan, your thoughts, and we'll go to chat.
Yeah, first, the chat wants to know who Sal is. Second, Star Wars. I mean, let's just say they did sell Star Wars. They're still going to be in bed with Disney for a very long time. Just because of all the rights to the Disney movies. I saw you had this on the list here.
Sorry. There's one extra piece of information I need to add. I see Gary from Nerdrotic in the chat.
Yeah.
They have been shopping it for 7 months, and there are no takers. That was the thing.
Yeah.
The person that's in finance shared with me is that they've been shopping it for 7 months and they can't find a buyer.
Yeah. Well, that's just
I want to get to what the specifics are. So I need other people in the industry to fill me in.
Right.
Fill us in, or Gary knows people. Let's get the information on this. I want this to be factually accurate. Continue, Alan. We'll go.
Yeah, I mean, those specifics are really important because, okay, Star Wars is for sale. What are you buying? What exactly are you buying? Because you're basically, it's like selling the Playboy Mansion, knowing that Hugh Hefner is still going to live there for a while. I mean, that's
Right,
the
right.
sense, that's the sense I get with this, because Disney is so intertwined with this that, you know, I can't imagine them giving it away, selling it away 100%. The merchandising, the
Right.
film, the assets, the all the licenses that have been that are out now. Are you really buying Lucasfilm, or are you just buying? You know, are you just owner in name only, and Disney will still run things
Well,
behind the scenes?
again, Sony has a deal with Marvel that I think is actually a very good deal. They get to make Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, but that
And
was
they have
that was pre Marvel. I'm sorry, that was pre Disney.
And they have access to Spider-Man related characters.
Yeah.
Smart deal for Sony.
Well, Universal has the theme park rights in Florida.
And
Marvel.
Universal has Hulk movie rights.
Mm-hmm.
It's very complex. So are they looking at this and maybe keeping the category on Disney Plus, selling pieces of the rights? Yeah. I don't know. Again, I'll tell you, this is precisely what my friend said. Disney has been shopping Star Wars for 7 months and can find no buyers. Yeah. Let's do an investigation together and get the full story. Let's go to your chat comments, starting with Gary from Nerdrotic. There are only 3 entertainment companies in a position to do it. Yes. I think we can guess what they are. Apple could. I mean, Elon Musk could. He's not really a company, but
Apple, Amazon, and definitely not Warner Brothers or Paramount.
Yeah. Hey, Gary, I'll be watching FNT later today. Love that show. Continuing. Wait, Gary says, I'll buy Acolyte. Well, we do have Acolyte season 2 in production film that will debut before the end of this year.
Yeah, I'll buy that for $1. You know, there was a Christopher Moonlight Productions.
Yeah, Bill W. became a YouTube member. I'll buy that for $1, Uncle Remus. Christopher Moonlight, what do you got to say? We love Chris.
All right, Star Wars has been completely devalued, but the real tragedy is that no one has taken the opportunity to create any real science fiction franchise competitors to take its spot. The iron is hot. Strike.
Well, I'll say this, a couple things. And one, Alan, there's a email that I forward you from Chris Moonlight Productions. Yeah. He wants to write for Film Threat. He has questions. I'd love to have him as a contributor because his insights on AI and filmmaking. We love Chris Moonlight. The only thing is I don't like emails longer than 2 sentences. I just have to. I have so many emails to respond to in a day. Anything over 2 sentences, cut to the chase. I tend to go. What's the action item? I got to move. I got a lot to do. So, I'd love to make that happen, Alan. A nudge to you.
Yes. You send me an email and you said, let's talk about this. And
I'm talking about it on the show. I'm talking about it on the show right now. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of think that Star Wars is, and Gary has said this, have to credit him for this. It's a normie brand. It's as normie as science fiction can get. Star Trek is not necessarily for normies. They tried to normify it, but Star Wars is normie. It's robots, blasters, spaceships, laser swords, right? I think in the right hands, it could still have value. It could still have value.
A fresh start.
Yeah. Here we go.
Sons and Shadows, member for 19 months. How many emails has Chris read since the stream started? Kidding. Love you guys. Keep up the great work.
While the Kathleen Kennedy video was on, I answered about 10 emails. I'm not joking. I can listen and respond to things at the same time. All right. It's time. This is your reminder to watch Film Threat's Oscar watch party on Sunday, March 2nd. Just a quick reminder to do that. You're going to see Gary from Nerdrotic, he won't be there. Dante James, D.A. Derek Anderson, Angry Badger, Gary from Nerdrotic, X-Ray Girl, Alan Ng. So watch it live, but right now it's time for Alan and I's Oscar Oscar predictions. I have Alan's Oscar predictions.
Mhm.
If you go to the website Gatecrashers, it's thegatecrashers.com. You will see a bunch of people that I would describe them as Hollywood outsiders. Okay. I'm a part of this group. A lot of people that Scott Menzel, Jeff Snyder from the In Snyder, Christian Toto. Hey, look,
Hey.
there's Sasha
Hey.
Stone, Jeff Wells, Dante James, Alan Ing. These are outsiders from Hollywood giving their Oscar predictions. Alan, let's go with your Oscar predictions here. I've got them here. Any comments on this? Why don't you read them here? I'll scroll down.
So Best Picture, Nora. Best Director, Sean Baker. Best Actor, Adrian Brody. Demi Moore, Best Actress, Kieran Culkin. Zoe Saldana, Best Supporting Best Original Screenplay, A Real Pain. Best Adapted, Conclave. Best Cinematography, Nosferatu. Best Editing, The Brutalist.
The longest movie makes sense.
The longest movie gets the best editing. Best Production Design is Wicked. Costume, Wicked. Sound and sound mixing, Dune. Best Hair and Makeup, A Different Man. That's probably the one I'm going to lose. Best Visual Effects, Dune. Best Score, Brutalist. Best Song, El Mai from Emilia Perez. Best International Feature, Emilia Perez. Anime Feature, Wild Robot. Porcelain War. Best Documentary Short, The Only Girl in the Orchestra.
Wait, did you see that movie?
No, but it said only girl, and
I've seen the doc shorts. That may not win. I've seen all the shorts. I'll go through
I'm just going by title.
Okay.
And, best live action short, The Men Who Cannot Remain Silent, which I have seen.
That will not win.
And then best anime short, Magic Candles.
I saw Magic. Magic Candies. I've seen it. It's awesome. It's from Japan. You should watch that movie. We got a screener.
Yeah, my quick comment is not my choices. This is what I think will win.
There's a thing to it when you're doing Oscar predictions. Like, are you picking the movie you like the best? There's two ways to go, and I'll go through my predictions. This is the movie you love, or this is the movie you think will win because the Academy kind of votes for old people and slave movies, which is true.
Or it's the best picture. Yeah.
So I'll go through mine. Picture, Anora. Director, Anora. Actor, Adrian Brody, Brutalist. Actress, Demi Moore, Substance. Supporting actor, Brutalist, Guy Pearce. Supporting actress, Ariana Grande, Wicked. I'll probably lose that one. Original screenplay, Brutalist. Adapted screenplay, Conclave. Cinematography, Dune Part 2, which I kind of want to win. And then best production design, Dune Part 2. I don't know why the rest aren't there, but I'll say on the shorts, Magic Candies will win. And then I will say that for doc short, I think there's the one I want to win, which is Instruments of a Beating Heart, but it's probably going to be Death by Numbers, which is about gun control. Live action short, I'm Not a Robot is amazing. A live action short. It's about a woman. She's trying to answer, those things, the little CAPTCHA thing that wants to ask you, you're not a robot. Click, I'm a human, not a robot. She fails the test over and over and starts to question herself. Am I a robot? It's hilarious. It's the only doc live action that's actually funny. And the rest are super, like Alien is a whole thing about ICE and illegals and all that. That's probably gonna win because it's like all the short films were all virtue signaling agenda movies. The ones I liked were not. So I think so we'll see on the shorts. Final thoughts on predictions here, Alan.
Yeah, again, this is I think this will be the first year I beat you in the
yeah, I think you will actually beat me because I'm going with my heart. Yeah,
and I'm going with the task given me. who's gonna win.
Well, that's smart.
Yeah. The other thing is, again, this weirdly is the year where I think I only agree with 2 of the choices I've made here. The rest, there are certainly better movies. Amelia Perez shouldn't even be on this list. This has been the most frustrating years for films and for awards that I've gone through in a very long time.
It's been so frustrating.
Yeah.
I am going to see Oppenheimer in 70 millimeter at Universal City Walk in IMAX later tonight because I'm looking at the movies in theaters and they're terrible.
Yeah.
And they have a 70 millimeter print. I'm going to see Oppenheimer. And I really feel this may be the weakest year for Oscar movies in recent memory. And it's been bad even before that. Let's go to comments.
Sons and Shadows gifted 5 Film Thread memberships.
Thank you,
for
Sons
that.
and Shadows.
All right, Jason Webster for 5 Australian. If you buy Lucasfilm for 20% off the recommended price, we will include a set of steak knives as your free gift. So act now.
There you go.
How's your father? Does Demi Moore realistically have a shot? I think she does.
100% because she won at the CCA and the Golden Globes.
Yeah. Ban Brindle Beard for 3,199. Will R&B be at the watch party? Was hilarious last year.
Yes. R&B will be at the watch party. However, I have some sad news. He says he won't be drinking. Now, wait. Before you get upset and react, I promise I will do my best to make sure that Rob has a couple quick drinks.
Do we need to set up a door? Do we need to set up a DoorDash order to go to Rob's house that night?
I will get his address and I will DoorDash him some bourbon. So, I want to let's get Rob. Last year, the stream did not end because Rob was drunk and it was too funny. So yes, Rob will be there. Marco CCS 65 Demi will get her awards for her career, just like Brad Pitt got his. I agree. Now, another story real quick, and we have a lot of films to review. Oscar secret ballot revelations. Let's take a look at this. This is from Entertainment Weekly. They put out, what they did was they do this every year. They ask Oscar voters anonymously if they will give their thoughts on Oscar voting. And this is, no one's honest. Everyone's political. But they asked Oscar voters who remain anonymous what they think about this year. And here's what we got. From Entertainment Weekly. 4 Oscar voters reveal their juicy secret ballots. Carla Sofia Gascon in Amelia Perez is toast in the Best Actress category. Carla will not win. Brutalist is poverty porn. Brutalist, with a lot of nominations, may actually get, other than Adrian Brody, it might get nothing. Let's look at this story for a second. Alan, if you would start with maybe the let's see down here.
I can't.
But let's start like down here, the first paragraph. One thing they all agreed on. Go for it.
Okay. Hold on. I can't read that. I'm almost there. Okay. One thing they will agree on, though, was the below dealt to Amelia Perez campaign after Carla Sofia Gascon, the history-making trans star of the most nominated Oscar title this year, found herself at the center of a controversy involving past tweets that may have been labeled as racist and homophobic. Islamophobic. I can't read. Gascon
okay,
has
all right, stop. I'll read. Okay. EW's anonymous 2025 Oscars voter panel. A director. So they've got different people, a director, a writer, a publicist, and a casting director. Here's what they had to say. Thoughts on Carla Sofia Gascon controversy. It will affect her. Yeah, she seems to be toast. Publicist, I am utterly disgusted at the racism and hatred. I feel the Academy should rescind that nomination. Casting director, I do think it will affect the voting, but it's a shame. Thoughts on no original song performances during the telecast. Director, I feel fine. Obviously, I love music. I don't need musical performances as part of a 4-hour show. I agree with you. Director on the secret ballots, I'm bummed because I haven't seen the substance or I'm still here yet. The first Dune I couldn't get through. I'm not rushing for another 3 hours of Dune. There's still time to reevaluate, but I really struggled knowing myself Honora or the Brutalist I'd expect myself to vote for, but found one of them a bit silly. This is weird. And then he gives his ballot. The writer goes on, there was very little about Honora that I responded to. It seemed really implausible and like one of those aughts films that felt very male gazy about a young woman's journey that was seen from a male point of view and really was all about her sexuality. Anyways, we'll put the link in the description for this. It's a lot of like people being brutally honest and off the cuff about this year's Oscars. But I really think the thing that people will care less about this year is the movies. It's just not, I mean, Gary from Nerdrotic can't even get through the films. Like it used to be, the 5 Oscar movies were movies we all agreed were worthwhile, worth seeing. And we can't seem to get that. So, all right, let's go to your comments here. Alan, if you can read this comment.
Yes, from Borg Porg for 10. The fans should buy Star Wars. If we all donate enough money, we could be in control. Have Star Wars Theory be the CEO, Ryan Kinnell as lead supervisor, and Anna, that Star Wars girl, for creative writing. Dream team.
It would be awesome. Thank you for the generous super chat. We appreciate it.
Z, I'm rooting for the guy to win Best Actress.
Well, I have all sorts of Amelia Perez merch that was sent to me by Netflix. I have a framed poster. I have a t-shirt. I have a hat. I have Amelia Perez, a screenplay. We will do, for every Amelia Perez win, we will randomly give out Amelia Perez merch to our members. Now, you don't have to accept it, but you could win if you're a member of the channel. And by the way, during our Oscar watch party, we will be doing giveaways about every 15, 30 minutes of digital codes of an Oscar movie. I won't say which, free movies. So join us as a member.
By the way, I have a better way to make money. If you are a member of the Film Threat channel, you are guaranteed not to win one of the Amelia Perez items.
That's a better prize. All right, last comment, and then we have movies to review.
Some of these Oscar voters really suck because they can't even bother to watch Dune Part 2.
Yes.
Fire them, give some better ones, get some better ones in there.
I agree. Alan, it's time. Let's start reviewing movies. I told you this would be a fast show today. We got a lot. So we have a lot of films to review. Let's get those. You know how to prepare for that. Let's get that going, Alan. If you would get, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play a little video.
Lori's doing the posters.
She's doing the posters. Let's get the posters up. Yeah. But there is something I really like this video.
You sure you have some nice entertainment here? It would be a shame if someone took it away from you. Just saying.
Let's
Did they change the music on that one?
Let's review a film that Alan and I have both seen. It's called I Heart Willie. This movie is a low budget horror film. When I say low budget, this film was shot in 10 days in Mexico and under dire circumstances. Yeah. Yes. And I'll start off the bat. I like cheap horror. We're about to interview Lloyd Kaufman on the channel. I love trauma movies. I like The Toxic Avenger. John Carpenter's Halloween is a classic. There are very good slasher movies, which is about 10% of all the slasher movies. And 90% are cheap ripoffs that don't understand what makes a good slasher movie. And part of that is establishing characters you like. We meet 4 characters, 2 couples who they're YouTubers, right? The basic story is they're YouTubers going to a house that may be haunted, maybe murders took place there. I don't know. These are the most unlikable foursome I've ever seen. There's some homeless guy in this place that is harassing them. They're a bit scared. Strange things are afoot, and there is a killer dressed up like a murderous version of Mickey Mouse trying to kill people and torture people. And how this was made is because the movie Steamboat Willie, owned by Disney, is now in the public domain. That's the only reason this movie was made. And we've seen other movies like this. Pooh, Blood, and Honey. The only good one, the Neverland, the Peter Pan horror movie we reviewed a few weeks ago. There's only one that's been decent, and that's Pooh, Blood, and Honey Part 2, which was actually very funny. Really went for it. This has, even in spite of the fact that it's very violent, this person dressed as Mickey tortures people, chopping off limbs and then keeping the people alive, dressed in a bloody Mickey Mouse mask. He's been scarred all over his body, whoever this person is. And there's even nudity, which might bump it up a notch for me. But let me just say, and the movie is really short. It's like 70 minutes. And then there's a 20-minute making of to pad the running time of the show times to 90 minutes. And I don't know what to say, except I'll just be blunt. 0.0, one of the worst movies I've seen this, probably the worst film I've seen this year thus far. And we've seen some bad ones. I even am the type of person that kind of likes a good low budget horror. And this was god awful. It was torturous, not just for the characters in the movie, which I don't care about any of them. It was torturous for me to watch. And it was cruel, no sense of humor whatsoever. Thought it was clever in certain spots. It used footage from Steamboat Willie in the movie randomly for no reason. It's god awful. The only thing good about this movie is the poster. Other than that, worst film of the year so far, a 0 from me. Alan, your thoughts? And Alan's a Disney fan. What do you think, Alan?
Yeah, I don't understand the connection with Steamboat Willie with this one. According to the film, there's this killer called Mouse Boy, which you see here in the poster. And Mouse Boy, his exploits back 100 years ago, inspired Walt Disney to make the movie Steamboat Willie. I mean, if you're gonna take an IP, you're gonna parody it, you're gonna make a horror film about it. Find some connection with that IP, other than putting a Mickey Mouse mask on, and it's not that they showed images of Steamboat Willie. They redrew and reanimated it to make it more of a horror feel. But in terms of, well, why is Willie doing this? Why is he doing that? What does that have to do with the movie Steamboat Willie?
Alan, you're phasing out. Please repeat your last sentence.
Yeah. The issue I have here is this is pure IP exploitation. They're just taking the fact that Steamboat Willie is available doesn't mean, it should mean that you include it somehow in your story, and this one fails to do it. It is bad, but nice boobs, and there
was boobs in the movie.
Yeah,
there was boobs.
Very nice, and the girls were hot. And look,
even that didn't work for me. There was it's not enough. I have to like the characters. There is no one likable in this.
Yeah, my issue is, look, I'm not into horror. I think if this was a slasher film, maybe I'd like it more. But this is more of a torture film.
It is. That is my least favorite horror genre. Mm-hmm. Torture. It is pure torture porn, and it's not clever. It's not even, there are likable horror icons. Michael Myers, Freddy, There are likable horror icons. Even Art the Clown, more recently, is kind of, I mean, it's gruesome, horrific, but it's something clever and likable about it. There is nothing in this, and I guarantee there'll be a sequel.
Yeah, the last thing is the things Willie does should have meaning and reason. I never got the reason for it. You walk into his lair. There are knives on strings hung from the ceiling. Why? What is that? I mean, you're not going to get killed from it. You're not even going to get a cut from these things. But why is it there other than to look creepy? He likes to do things to people's bodies. Why? I don't get the sense that he's just in it for the pleasure. There's an allusion to what he does with it, but why? And so it just felt like, look, when you watch the making of how this movie got made was the producers already had another movie funded. They found out that Steamboat Willie was now in the public domain, and they stopped production. Yeah, and wrote a brand new movie, and this is that movie. Which then also, as you watch it, you realize never make an indie movie in Mexico, because at one point the second AD, they had to stop production because the federales came in because they thought the second AD was a cartel member. And
I'll just say this: that 20-minute making of at the end of the film is better than the film. It was funny. It was like that. It was like, oh, that's totally making making indie films like that. The making of gets a 5 out of 10.
It would make a great horror film. That making of movie.
Yeah, but the movie itself, 0 out of 10. It was awful. Let's go to comments here, starting with Magnum Norse. 10. Thank you for that.
Magnum Norse for 10. I clicked your podcast on YouTube because I am a subscriber and started watching commercial for HIV medication delivered to a man pretending to be a woman. What the F? Yeah.
Well, I'll say this, Magnum Norse, I pay for YouTube so I don't get commercials. I don't know if there's a ad blocker. I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. We do not choose the ads that appear on our channel. So apologies for that. But I'll just say I pay for YouTube. I never see a commercial, and it's the cheapest streaming service that I pay for is YouTube. Worth not getting commercials. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you.
And I'm sure that person needed their HIV medication. Mike MC Wong, very low budget, bad acting, but I liked it. Much better than the Peter Pan one. No, Peter Pan was better.
Mike sat right behind me, and I kept looking at him. He and I were the only people laughing, but I was not laughing because it was good. Appreciate you, Mike. Appreciate you a lot. Thanks.
No one was laughing in my theater because I was the only one in my theater. Jason Webster for 5. My choice for best costume design is Nosferatu because the costumes were highly accurate and realistic. Linda Muir really nailed the look for Orlok. Yes, but it won't win.
That's great. We'll talk about it on Sunday.
Razorburn, we need the Peanuts Gang as a horror film, Charlie Brown with an axe, Snoopy as a growling hellhound.
Well, you could see the Banana Splits movie. Check out that one, Razorburn. Always good to hear from you.
Yes, MK Solid. How do these horror films really make any money?
Here's the deal. There was only one showing on one day. It was a Wednesday. That was it. It was like maybe 25%, 30% full. And you do one showing one day in a bunch of theaters, it will make money. I guarantee it made more money than it cost. So,
Magnum Norse for 5. I wasn't complaining about you guys. LOL. I was commenting on the status of YouTube.
Oh, well, thanks, man. But seriously, consider paying for YouTube. It's worth it because I never see commercials and I watch a lot of YouTube. So thank you, Magnum Norse.
And he needed his AIDS medication. Christopher Moonlight Productions. The worst thing you can do as offend an audience is to create something that tells them you don't care about what they're showing up for.
Cool. All right, let's go to another review. I will take over here for a second, Lori. We are going to talk about, this is an early reaction.
Yeah, I got it.
This is an early reaction to Daredevil Born Again. This is our social media reaction for Daredevil Born Again. I have seen the first 5 episodes.
I've seen the first 3.
I will have seen all of them when we review it next week. We will do mild spoilers next week, and I will tell you about the whole thing. Here are my brief thoughts. The first 15 minutes of the first episode is the best thing that Marvel's ever done on Disney Plus. Now, who else said that?
That would be me.
Alan Ing, and I agreed with Alan. It's an epic part of this action sequence goes into a single shot that is jaw-dropping and incredible. And major things happen with beloved characters in that first 15 minutes that sets off the events of this series, because then we cut to, after that, the consequences of that a year later. There are, and people might complain that you've heard rumors. He's not Daredevil for a lot of it. He's Daredevil in spirit. There are parts that evolve into a courtroom drama. We see the Kingpin.
Oh, we can't give away plot points.
Yeah. We see the Kingpin and it's kind of, I would say this, and I don't mean this as an insult. We have seen things that you could compare to Penguin, but they're different. So I'll just say it's a very compelling drama, even without Daredevil in the costume. One last thing I'll say. So what I'm saying is I'm riveted. I'm loving it. I have a few annoyances, like they tend to elevate certain non-essential characters. They give them a lot to do, and I find that kind of boring. But there's something that happens in episode 5 I'll discuss next week, which could have been a great episode. Great. It was set up to be an amazing episode, where there is a cameo from another Marvel character that has no place being in Daredevil. That if episode 6 takes it further, I will be colossally disappointed. Those are my thoughts. Is so far so good, going in the wrong direction. We'll see if it sticks the landing. Alan, quick thoughts from you, and then we'll go to chat.
Okay. So I've only seen the first 3, so I don't know what you're talking about. Episode 1 to me is I'm hyperbolic. I'll admit that, but I think it's one of the most perfect first episodes of a series because it explains where we've been, where we are, and then just sets the stage. Reintroduces us to the characters, primarily Matt and Fisk. And they are both in very different positions, different places in their lives. And that first episode just introduces all that, gets all the exposition you need out of the way, sets up the chess pieces, and then ready. The first move is episode 2. It's just perfect and brilliant. Episode 2, the reason I love this is because it has something to say. You're gonna soon figure out what is up with Daredevil, what is up with Matt Murdock, what is up with Wilson Fisk. Why are they doing things that are very different from the Netflix series? And it says something about humans and humanity, which is what I've wanted Marvel, what I've wanted Star Trek, what I wanted all this science fiction going on today to do, is to comment on humanity. Make difficult choices. You forget that every time Matt enters a fight with somebody, Matt doesn't come out so well at the end, even though he wins. The other thing that happens in episode 2, which you don't see anymore in anything, is romance. And it was just really refreshing to see that come back and see certain characters find a somebody. I can't. Then the third one, again, just to compound on why this series is just building up. The third one is a court case. This is kind of harkening back now to the original. Matt's a lawyer, and there's a there. I can't even. I can't give you too much detail about
Well,
it.
just there's a
but it involves
courtroom drama.
a courtroom
Look,
drama, and it plays out in a very courtroom way, and it's like, oh man, so here's why Daredevil, at least up until episode 3, I have to keep calling that because as you say, it could fail us at any moment. But the reason why, at least up until episode 3, it works is because this series of Daredevil is grounded. Because you can understand and feel and know why Wilson and Matt are doing the things they do. Also, the action that takes place in Daredevil feels like it could take place today on the streets of New York.
And it's R-rated. I mean,
and it's R-rated.
You saw a lot of the violence in the trailer. It's there.
Yeah. So, there's a high body count in the first 15 minutes. Let's put it that way.
That first 15 minutes will get people talking. And what I do like, it is grounded. It feels like the least Disney thing Marvel has made in a while. Mm-hmm. I'm excited to finish it, but I'm cautious because of a cameo that I'll talk about next week. Let's go to your comments.
Do we need to watch season 3 from Brandon Powell for 199? No.
Nope.
You just need to be familiar with the characters.
You don't need to, but it could help, but it's not necessary.
Yeah.
Thanks for the
I think the first 2 seasons is good enough. You just need to know the characters. Abigail, good art explores the human condition. Mm-hmm. Bill W, She-Hulk incoming. Oh.
I'll tell you this. It's not She-Hulk. Alan, I put it in the private chat. Can I see your reaction to reading it?
Hold on.
That's your reaction? Can anyone guess? Yeah, exactly. There could have been a good cameo. This cameo is not going to be great. Okay.
Yeah, I can't. I can't. Dick Stein. Do they have a good fight coordinator for this one? Yeah. I mean, I tweeted about that. Marvel superhero fighting to this point has been choreography. This fighting is, I'm going to kill you. And on the other side is, I'm not going to let you kill me. That's the kind of fighting that goes on in the show.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk about another film here.
I'm sorry, you just threw me. You just threw me with that.
What are you talking about?
The Revelation. I'm
dude,
just shaking. I'm shaking.
I'll tell you about it after the show, and we'll talk about it next week.
Okay.
We will ask the chat if they want me to spoil it next week. No spoilers, just overall impressions. My overall impression is very good, but yeah.
Mine is welcome back. For at least for now.
Yeah. Let's talk about Last Breath. This is a nail biter of a thriller about a true event, about a group of divers working on a pipeline who one of the divers is thrown to the depths of the ocean with only like 10 minutes left of oxygen, and it's a race to save this diver. Woody Harrelson plays the patriarch, Duncan Alcock, the grizzled veteran. Simu Liu is David Yuasa, who's kind of a roguish figure, and Finn Cole plays Chris Lemons, based on a real person who is the fateful person who goes beneath the surface and is trapped. It's a race against time with only, literally when this happens, 10 minutes left of air, oxygen he has. And it plays out kind of in real time, the efforts to save this diver, Chris Lemons, who leaves behind loved ones. They kind of set this up where you get to like Chris. I feel like the name Chris comes up a lot in movies lately. It's very distracting to me. What can I say? But I'll tell you this, like movies like this, where you're kind of in their shoes, I find really difficult to watch. Claustrophobic, you're losing air. It's nail biter, edge of your seat. I almost would have rather seen a documentary about this event. It plays out very quickly because you realize, wait, 10 minutes of air? What's going to happen? I don't want to give away exactly how it plays out. This does also follow a recent trend that's being way overused, where they dramatize a real life story and then conclude with footage from the original event. But this is a fair thriller. It's for me, 5.5, 6 out of 10. This is a streaming movie. I found it claustrophobic only in the sense that it felt like the whole thing was shot in a studio or a controlled space. It really didn't have that epic scale. And it also felt very PG. I don't mean that as a bad thing. I just felt, also Simu Liu trying to act like a tough guy was almost laughable. He is not. I don't think Simu Liu is a very good actor. I think he's a very average actor at best. Woody Harrelson is the best thing in the movie. I've always liked him. He's good at comedy, and he can play a good grizzled vet. So a mild recommendation, like I say, 5.5 or 6 out of 10. It's good, not great. And it's a streaming movie playing in theaters. We say that a lot about films now. I think theaters are starving for good content. But Last Breath didn't exactly take my breath away. It's okay. Let's go to your comments here.
I have to ask you, you keep emphasizing that it's 10 minutes of breathing time. So is this movie 20 minutes long?
No, it's 90 minutes, but they build up to the accident. What just happened?
Lori dropped on, so the poster did.
Okay, that should not be on Lori. You should be doing that.
Okay.
Makes no sense. You can't have that happening during the show. So, yeah. So can she send you the posters right now? Text her, please. Yeah. I'll go to comments while you're handling that. Okay. Sin's Corner. Hey, Sin's Corner. Subscribe to her channel. This movie was also the mystery movie that was on the AMC Screen Unseen. I have tickets to one on Monday. I really like those. You get to see a movie a few days in advance. It's a mystery. You don't need, you're not sure exactly what's going to happen. So there you go. Sin's Corner. I loved Last Breath. It was so freaking intense. I found it hard to breathe myself as an asthmatic. This was tough to watch, but so good. Fair point. And the
if a claustrophobic movie makes you feel claustrophobic, it's a good movie.
Yeah. Don't get Chris fired up. I just want people to make smart decisions. So yeah, crack that whip. Let's go. Simu Poo Poo. Can we get the posters up?
I'm waiting for Lori. Can you give me that link in the private chat? Okay, we're waiting for the. I'm waiting for the link.
Let's see. We have James has become a YouTube member. Appreciate that. Reminder to subscribe to Sin's Corner. That's Sin spelled with SYN. And there you go. While you guys are doing that, if you can get the posters up, we can make sure this never happens again by giving Alan the posters, or Alan getting better internet, or just something. Do I have to play a video?
Let's fucking go.
Or Alan's internet constantly oh God, this is so, guys, we have to get better at this.
Well, I'll call the
we
company.
Have to get better at this. I can't, because these aren't labeled. I can't see what these are. Alan, you gotta like, okay, that's not that.
Yeah, if I had time,
you label.
I was busting my ass all morning because I had
Here's what will help me. Label the names. Just name it real quick. Then I'll just see it.
You know how hard it is to get picture
every time. Yeah, it's called show prep. How do you think I line up the interviews and do all this other stuff?
Yeah. And I do nothing. I have a website to run.
I'm not
you know how
nothing. I'm not saying you do nothing. I'm saying help us. I'm trying to help us.
Last breath. There we go. All right, so let's move on to our next film. Let's go to Millers in Marriage. Millers in Marriage. All right. So Millers in Marriage, it's a movie written in... Oh, no, that's... Hold on. Were we not there? Okay, here we go. Millers in Marriage. Millers in Marriage is a movie written and directed by Edward Burns. He stars in it. It's the story of three couples, the Millers, one of which is... Sorry. Okay. So it's about the three members of the Millers family. Eve Miller, played by Gretchen Mol, who is married to Scott, played by Patrick Wilson. Let's see. Maggie Miller, played by Julia Anna Margulies. She's a writer who's married to Campbell Scott's character, Nick. And then finally, Edward Burns, Andy Miller, who is dating a coworker named Renee. But there's an ex-wife, Andy's ex-wife. Who is this? Sorry. Tina, played by Marina Baccarin. So what's going on here is that this movie follows the three stories of these three characters, and they're all involved in some kind of a love triangle. There's a third person in the story that is leading them away from the core relationship there. And this movie really is about the breakdown of these long-lived marriages. Gretchen Mol is a former rock star who married a manager. She quit the business to support her husband and raise a family, but he's a drunk. And now there's Benjamin Bratt, who wants to do an interview on her, and then sparks fly. Edward Burns is dating a new woman after being recently separated from Marina Baccarin. But Marina left for some reason. Now she wants back in, realizing the error of her ways. And then the third triangle is Maggie, who she's married to another writer. And then there's competition there because she's the successful writer and he is suffering through writer's block.
Okay, can I say I'm bored and this is like a movie from the 90s? Like hearing your description of it sounds boring. This reminds me of the boring Sundance dramas I would see in the 90s. Like, is it a good
No,
film?
what you do is you get back from the video.
Also,
by the way, you leave me hanging here. I'm trying to grab the first thing that I went to pee and get coffee.
I went to.
All right, just do whatever you want. I don't care.
No, I'm saying it's a boring description.
I know because I'm getting things set up. I'm trying to get these posters that you want. You play a video and then you're not there, and then I'm stuck. And then I have to scramble and do this.
Number one lesson on doing YouTube.
Lesson. Thank you.
One lesson. No. I'll tell you what it is. It's
no. Then I make a choice, and then you criticize.
Here it is. No dead air. I know.
No exactly.
Dead air.
So
just keep talking.
On the thing,
let's do it.
And then you're coming at me saying the thing you chose, the thing that you scrambled that I didn't prepare you for. You made the wrong choice. Great job, Chris. Thank you, teacher.
We have so many
riveting online streaming. Thank you. Clip this, Glenn. Clip it.
Don't clip it.
Clip it, Glenn. Clip it. This is great.
All right.
I have learned from the master.
Finish this review. We only have 7 more movies to review. Oh my God. Tell me about the movie.
Hey, no dead air. So,
You're so funny.
let's show you how not to deal with dead air by giving you the dead air to deal with.
Look, wait. This is like a marriage. This is like fun. This is like
there you go.
You're acting
Watch
out the
Miller's
movie.
in Marriage. This is how this movie plays out.
Oh my God. All right, give me your final thoughts on this movie. And there's so many
It's
comments.
boring. It's boring.
It's boring? Was it boring?
I mean, look, it's actors who want to tell good stories about relationships. They want to. It's about weathering tough relationships. But the thing is, there's no hope at the end. There's no.
So,
hope.
do you recommend Miller's in Marriage?
No, I don't.
Do you recommend You and I in Marriage?
No. That's why we work together better as business partners than married partners.
Yeah. Let's go to your comments.
BMO better. Frank needs to switch to decaf and eat the Snickers.
I went to get a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And I can't eat Snickers, can't have sugar. Alan.
All right, MK Solid. Sorry. The Dark Side of Film Tech. There you go.
That's right. There's a dark side.
Techniques, chick flick. Yep. Wormy Spoons. I mean, Gretchen Mall hot. Wormy Spoons. Man, I'm bored already.
Yep.
Hassan Chavez. There are a lot of white people. That's a lot of white people. Razor Burn. Chris is writing Alan's pink slip. Yeah.
By the way, never. That will never happen.
Yes, because I love my email.
I love working with Alan. I mean, look, could Alan answer emails better? Yeah, but I really have very few complaints about Alan. I love working with Alan. I mean, he can't read. Dead air is kind of a problem. He speaks his inner monologue during YouTube streams, which is kind of quaint. I would recommend against. Well, I love Alan. He's not going anywhere. There will be no pink slips today, but will we fight? Yeah, we'll fight, but it's not really, it's just like, hey, prepare better and whatever. And then we fix things and everything's all good. And we love Lori too. She's working hard with her. She's having some internet problems today and that affects us. So anyways, we'll finish with these comments. We have a lot more films to review. We have Lloyd Kaufman coming up on the show. All right. Continue.
Yeah. AD Ellis, fuck your review, Alan, from Friendly Frank. Geek Truth 64, Alan and Chris in Marriage.
Hey, Geek Truth, I started following you on X, so I DM'd you.
Yeah. One Punch Man, Tolkien fan, Daddy Chill. Will Yum for 2. It's like my parents are fighting. Yeah. The Brujo for 5. I bet my left ear, if you run network cables versus using Wi-Fi, the issue would resolve. And this is kind of hot. Yeah. I'm not using Wi-Fi. One thing.
I have an Ethernet cable directly plugged in.
Yes, and that would be the same Ethernet cable I am using that is directly plugged.
Maybe you need a new cable because you are always dropping out.
All right. Rudy for 2. When are you going to kiss and make up?
I can't see that happening. Alan, you are my density. You're not going to say anything?
Yeah, I wish I was the one dying.
We did it just for you.
Yes.
Well, that was fun and whatever. Look, here's what
I'm glad
say.
You had fun, Chris.
I'm
glad you had a blast.
let me just tell you. Look, the show will never be perfect. We're not television. We don't. It's just 4 people put this whole thing together. As long as it's entertaining, that's what matters. Let's go to another review. How about we do a Sloth Story?
Okay.
If you would. And we may have to, after the Lloyd review, Lloyd interview, we'll finish our reviews. We have 3 more films to review. No, after this. Tell me about a Sloth Story, which I have seen the trailer for, and it looks awful. I have no interest in this. Maybe you can convince me. Give it to me, Alan.
Yeah.
Tell me about A Sloth Story.
Yeah, well, this is decidedly a kids movie, and it's about Laura, a little sloth there who is living with her family in Mexico in the old country there. Mother runs a very popular restaurant, and a storm occurs. Everything is ruined, and now the family is forced to move to the city. And here, the mother wants to continue to make Mexican food for the people. Problem is that she loves the food so much it takes too long, and so nobody wants to eat her food. They'd rather eat the fast food over across the way. And this story is basically about family. It's about the generations that move on. We've kind of been there. If you've been in a family that has kind of lived the old school life, you know that the kids generally don't want to stick around and continue on the traditions. They want to get education. They want to grow up. They want to move on. They want to have friends. And this is the kind of the main struggle here with Laura, is that she wants, her mother wants her to take over the business. She doesn't. She wants to live her own life. When she moves to the city, she finds friends. But the thing is that because the business is taking off so much, Laura has to work and she can't be with her friends. And the only way out is to sell her mother's secrets to the evil fast food corporation along the way. There's a very sinister story there that you could tell, that I could tell. I'll say this, in terms of being just a kid's story, a kid's animated feature, it's fine. The animation is done in kind of that CG stop animation, meaning it's CG, but it's 12 frames a minute, 12 frames a second. I'm not convinced I'm into that kind of style of animation, even with the Marvel stuff anymore. It just seems like, why are we doing that? But it's a heartfelt story. It's very midline. I'd give it a 6. If you have kids, very small kids who like animation, this is certainly a good one to go to.
So it's single digit aged kids.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So
yeah.
All right.
Heartfelt story of family. There you
go. So a bear recommend from you. Recommend. Let's see if we have some sloths in the chat.
All right. That looks like a VHS tape you would find at Goodwill. And honestly,
that is so accurate.
Yeah. I mean, this is a Mexican production, and it definitely has that feel. Darth Yeager, let's talk about A Sloth Story.
Yeah.
The Dark Knight Returns. It looks like a Chipmunks knockoff. There's no singing. It's about family. A Serious Man, a kid's movie with a plot made by an 80-year-old.
That's right. All right, let's switch to a very quick review for this film. Mobile Suit Gundam GQuuuuuX beginning review. This was in IMAX theaters, early access. I am told this is the first 2 episodes of a prequel series that I did not watch. I am a normie when it comes to Gundam. I think I like the toys more than the animation. I've only seen some cursory things about Gundam. I really don't get it. I saw this and was bored to tears. The human characters were forgettable. The audience I saw it with clearly knew what was going on. I did not. It's all about Gundam porn. It's almost like there are human characters in it. They really don't matter. It's all about the Gundam itself, which are these super powered mechs that fight in space in a future Earth where Earth has like these satellite cities. Anyways, it was only 70 minutes and I still thought it was too long. It's unless you're a hardcore Mobile Suit Gundam fan, it's not for me, but if you're a Gundam fan, it's for you. So make of that what you will. Gundam fans will love. I was bored silly. That's it. That's all I got to say. Gundam Wing was a fun show on Toonami Cartoon Network. The Dark Knight Returns. Thanks, MK Solid. The Dark Knight Returns. The title unknown is Ra Tadid. Ra Tadid? I don't get what it is. All right, let's do more reviews. Alan, Cold Wallet is a movie that you saw.
Yes. Yeah. It just came on VOD this week. I actually saw this back at South by Southwest. A story of, so it just opens with Billy. He's a guy a father who's divorced from his wife, left with nothing. He has to get a job and make a lot of money fast if he wants to have partial custody of his daughter. And so he invests in what they call tulip coins. It's a meme coin, finds out it's a scam coin. He invested tens of thousands of dollars that he was planning to use on a house, invested on it, knowing that diamond hands will come and he'll make a lot of money. And then on Christmas, the entire meme coin collapses. And not only does he lose it all, but he now owes about $40,000. And not only did he lose his own money, he also lost the money of his best friend, Dom. They're two freaking out. And then he gets a note from Eva, a Redditor poster, who has also lost a lot of money. And they decide that the three of them are going to go to the house of Charles Hagel, the creator of this meme coin. They found out that he did not kill himself, that he's actually alive. And they're going to go in and grab his cold wallet devices because he's going away. He needs money. And on these little discs are Bitcoins that they can steal from him. And this whole movie is about hunting him down in this house, getting to unlock those wallets, and then walking away with the money. But of course, Charles is a little smart. He's a normal hacker, so therefore he was easy to capture and take down. But now Charles starts to play the three of them against each other, and it becomes this kind of home invasion psychological thriller. I thought it was pretty good for an indie
Can I stop you right there?
Yeah.
Your description of it makes me want to see it. It's like part heist film, thriller, suspense. Like I like it. It sounds good.
All right. Thanks, Chris.
No, I'm serious.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I like, this is an indie film. Not a lot of money. A good amount of money is put in, but not studio type of money. And it's a very solid thriller. Certainly there could have been more done had you had $1 million to throw in it. But it really is about the psychological game of three basically normies who have to go in, take down a highly intelligent, tech mogul, and to see everyone being played against each other, and that just plays out throughout the entire film. So yeah, a good recommendation for me. I'd say a 7. I think we gave it an 8 online. So yeah, go see Cold Wallet.
And how was it received at South by? Did you see it there when you were in Austin?
Yes, I did.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I think the subject matter, it's certainly, look, I saw it at the same theater that they played The Monkey with Dev Patel and a bunch of others. So it was given a lot of prominence. And I'm not sure that people, it is a fairly straightforward indie thriller. And I think that's kind of the reception we got. I think there were a lot of people really rooting for the film. And so, yeah.
All right. So recommend from you.
Recommend, yes. Yeah,
Awesome.
I believe it's
Let's
on
go
VOD now.
Go to the comments.
Dick Dixon, one of those modern technology movies that will be obsolete in 6 months. Yeah, it's interesting because the whole meme coin, I think it's on its tail end. I think it's kind of puttering out. And again, I saw this a year ago.
You think?
Yeah. And again, I saw it last year at South by Southwest. So that's a year ago.
Yeah.
Darth Yeager, Haktua Coin, the movie. Yeah.
See, yeah. I'd almost rather see a documentary about the Haktua coin than, well, maybe a double feature. That would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, this could definitely be Haktua the movie. Suns and Shadows. This sounds like the side plot of Squid Games. Yeah. Geek True 64 seems like a mid Netflix movie. I think that's where it ultimately will end up. It will probably be on one of the streamers once it gets its VOD run.
I would just watch that. My expectation for a movie on streaming is much less, so I wouldn't have a problem with it. We have Mathew Klickstein waiting in our green room. I don't see Lloyd Kaufman If Lloyd is going to join us, let me know with a nod, Mathew. Okay, so we'll wait for him, but we'll do another review in the meantime. Our last review of today, and then I have a news story we could talk about at the end of the show. News story. Okay, so what should be happening right now?
We're looking for the poster. And then, yeah, there you go.
Hey, Riff Raff is an indie movie that is now both in theaters and I believe coming to VOD. It's the type of crime-based like indie movie with an ensemble group of characters led by Vincent, played by Ed Harris, who's an old sort of a heavy. He used to be involved in crime. He is no longer. He has a son who is not white. Ed Harris is white. He has a black son. There are circumstances. They talk about how this came to be. I won't spoil it. Jennifer Coolidge is in this movie as a character named Ruth. Pete Davidson is Lonnie, and the great Bill Murray plays Lefty. Lefty and Lonnie are these criminal assassins that are on the hunt, leading them to Ruth, played by Jennifer Coolidge, and a showdown. It's the type of movie that would have been made in the 90s that we've all kind of seen before. But the fact that it has Bill Murray and Ed Harris and Jennifer Coolidge and Pete Davidson, I'm happy to report, is actually tolerable. He's very low key in this as kind of a killer that's very casual about killing. It's the job. I've seen a movie like this before. It's more comedy than crime drama, but not sort of a great comedy. It's the humor is in the darkness. It was fine. I think the thing that elevates it is that Bill Murray is in it and Ed Harris, and there are big reveals in the third act. Obviously, I will not spoil. The movie does not overstay its welcome, so it's fine. Again, we've said this a lot on the first few months of the year. This is a streaming movie that came to theaters, and it's not a bad one. One of the better ones. 6.5 or 6 out of 10 for me. So a mild recommend. Alan, what did you think of Riff Raff?
I didn't see it.
That's perfect. You didn't need to. I gave you the main review. So, well, there you go. Look, the biggest surprise of the movie is Pete Davidson was kind of likable and tolerable. And the cast is really good. I mean, this reminds me, of a lot of movies we've seen lately where it's just okay. I'm not going to rave about it. I'm not going to tell you to run out and see it in theaters. Just,
I mean, what keeps it from being a great movie? Is it just the worn plot or
It's the worn plot. We've seen this. It also seems like, I don't mean this as an insult, but it's a 90s indie movie that we've seen before with standoffs with guns, casual killing to pop songs. You know what I mean? Like, it's like there are indie film tropes. It's also partly a road movie because Bill Murray and Pete Davidson are on the hunt to get to Jennifer Coolidge. So, it's okay. I did not regret watching it. It's fine, but don't rush out. So if it's in theaters, you've seen everything. Hey, check it out. You're not going to see Captain America for a second time, and this is playing. Then there you go. All right, let's go to your comments.
GQuuuuuuX, this is a crazy cast.
Yeah, and also Bill Murray.
Yeah, I mean, Darth Yeager, you had me on Bill Murray.
Yeah, it's because he doesn't, and I've never seen him like this in a movie.
No, there was that Bill movie with Melissa McCarthy, and he plays just a solid dramatic character.
Right.
Olo Liukui, Bill Murray just doing Bill Murray things.
Yeah.
Dick Dickstein. There are a lot of movies on streaming now that are indie that have a great ton of great actors in them making movies for their SAG cards.
Dick, you are absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So there you go. All right. We are going to do an interview right now because I need to tell you about some things that are cool. And Lloyd Kaufman is a hero of mine. If you have followed Troma films, and I don't just mean the movies, everything from Sergeant Kabuki Man, right, to the Toxic Avenger, all of the Troma movies, of course, set in the great Tromaville. And I am a Troma fan. Mathew Klickstein has just written a book about Lloyd Kaufman. Let's talk to him on the show. Hey, Mathew. Great to speak with you here. How's it going?
Good. Thanks for having me on, Chris. I really appreciate it.
Well, I'll tell you the reason I'm having you on. Two reasons. One, I love Lloyd Kaufman. I love Troma films. And it's the only way to get you to stop emailing me about please interview me. I've got an email thread, no joke, that goes into 50 plus emails about this interview.
Very
also,
proud of that.
Persistence.
Mark Summers once said I was a pain in the ass, but in a good way. Unfortunately, I'm one of those weird creatives and writers who I don't have the $20,000 a week for a publicist. I don't have any network connections through family, and I don't live in LA or New York because I don't.
You don't need that with Film Thread. There's a direct connection, but fewer emails.
Those are persistent.
The thing I'm most excited about is after this, you will not be emailing me because we're done
until the next project.
Exactly.
You show up. I don't know if we ever got you the book. You show up. There's a picture of you that Lloyd actually got me at Comic-Con for the Comic-Con oral history that I did a couple years ago for Fantagraphics, and there's actually
that's awesome. But look, I love your tenacity. I love Lloyd and I love Troma. In fact, Lloyd is here with us right now.
Oh, good. He got on finally. We were
Lloyd, how are you?
Oh, there you are.
I see you got a millennial to help you with your tech.
I finally got Michael Hers to make an appearance in public. Michael, tell us about your 50 years
Hey, Michael.
making movies.
Good to meet you.
Michael.
Oh, this is awful. I'm so sorry. I had no idea. But it was very hard to get into this.
I'm Arthur.
Arthur. It
Arthur.
was very hard to get get online. Luckily, Arthur Hers was here, or Michael Hers.
My last name's not Hers.
Oh, all right. Whatever.
My first name's not Michael.
And we will never email you again. I came in on that, so we will never.
It's always fun to see where Lloyd is. He sometimes when he comes in, he's in a bathroom.
The book for anything. So,
all right. Well, we've got.
Don't worry about that.
We've got 1,200 people watching live. Child Protective Services is on the way. Tell us about the book, Mathew, if you would, and then Lloyd, I want to get your Oscar predictions.
The book is called Lloyd Kaufman Interviews. It's out through University Press of Mississippi. Can
you show me the book? Do you have one?
What? I don't. I'll go grab. Oh, there it is. It's on my shelf. Yeah, there we go.
You're completely prepared for an interview. This is.
Well, it's my fault.
There you go.
No, Chris.
It also comes in hardcover and ebook edition.
Show it again.
I left the book at the office.
Yeah, and
there you go. All right.
Also hardcover and ebook too. And University Press of Mississippi, believe it or not, is one of the top pop culture academic presses. They do this series called Conversations with Filmmakers that's been going on for 25 years. And this is the one with Lloyd. It's actually quite literally collections of interviews with him going all the way back to 1981 from all different kinds of sources, including Chris Gore's podcast, which you nicely allowed us to transcribe for the book.
Yeah, I just when it comes to books, like I don't see a butler next to you. I see no butler. It's like whenever anyone says, "Can we use?" It's like, yes, I don't care. I'll sign anything. Use it.
Yeah.
So look, I am a huge fan of trauma films. When I worked at a video
Bye,
store,
Michael Hers. Bye-bye.
bye, Michael.
Sorry about that.
When I worked at a video store, Lloyd, you have no idea. Class of Nukem High, so many movies that you brought to the fore. Tromaville being the setting for so many of the trauma films. You both acquired movies and made movies, and you're a hero. And your book, Make Your Own Damn Movie, along with its sequel, are an inspiration. And also, you've been so outspoken. I saw you at the Cannes Film Festival when I went there, and at the American Film Market. You always have a booth. You are no BS, and you are a beacon of truth in the industry. So,
thank you. Really,
I want to know what is revealed in this book that we can learn. What's in the
I
book?
think Mathew. I'm mainly interested, being a dirty Jew, Chris. What? How do I compare? How are the sales? How are the sales compared to, say, Del Toro?
Yeah. I mean, for the installment in the Conversation with Filmmaker series, I don't even think they do Guillermo del Toro yet. But you're definitely.
Well, what about?
We're beating. The John Carpenter one is the new one that just came out. We're beating that one. We're beating the Steve McQueen one. We're beating the Julia Dash one. Those are all coming out around the same time. So you're doing pretty well.
That's great. Terrific. Thank you, Mathew.
In comparison to that, yeah.
And
as
thank
far
you,
as like
Chris.
Michelle Obama's book or the new Stephen King book, we're a little bit less than that. So.
Nice.
Thank you. That's so nice of you to do this book too. Mathew spent a lot of time on this, and so I'm honored and grateful. And I'm grateful.
There is a lot revealed in it, including Lloyd's social security number and bank account number.
Well, you don't have to worry about the bank account. It's empty.
Mathew, having gone through so much material to distill it down to a book, what's the main takeaway? And we have questions from our audience. We'll go to those. But what's your big takeaway? I mean, I feel Lloyd's an inspiration.
Yeah.
And there are people, you may not like Lloyd's movies. Careful there, Lloyd. You may not like his movies, but what Lloyd has done for the industry, for indie film, the longest running independent film studio distribution company. I mean, like, it's crazy, the achievements. And the fact that James Gunn is a huge fan of Lloyd, having given James his shot, with Romeo and Juliet.
Trauma, for sure.
In fact, I got to ask Lloyd. Lloyd, are you in Superman? Are you in Superman?
I signed a NDA. So
the other version of that answer is yes. He's even in the trailer. If you look very closely,
he's in the trailer. I knew it. Lloyd is in Superman.
He's like going up to the bomb or whatever. Lloyd's one of the people outside. We actually found it and circled it. We put it all over his socials. Lloyd is in the trailer.
Oh man! Hey. So not only do I appreciate Lloyd, James Gunn, which you got to give James credit, is loyal to Lloyd and appreciates Lloyd. And
James Gunn he's the nicest guy in the world. Everybody around him, all those big stars, they're just people. They're no bullshit. They're the nicest. In fact, they're trauma fans as a result of probably Romeo and Juliet. But they all, really nice. And James's assistant director. They let me bring Bergio, a guy who worked on our recent movie, Power of Positive Murder. Bergio, just a guy, a young boy. They let me bring him on and for the day, and he sat in Video Village. Nice people, no snottiness, incredible. And the background people, the director for the background, the actor persons, you might call them extras. He was the nicest guy. The extras were all digging the scene, and it was really, really nice. But I'm not allowed to talk about it. So luckily, nobody's listening to this podcast or watching.
No one.
I don't have to worry about anything.
Well, tell me, Mathew, what is the main takeaway about Lloyd's career? And then we'll go to chat comments and questions.
Yeah, that comes up a lot. The biggest one for me, and I did an interview specifically for the book myself as a kind of coda to all the other interviews. And we talked about this, which is I was shocked and surprised. We all know Lloyd as the jaded, curmudgeonly old man that we just can't get enough of, Uncle Lloydie, and railing against the system and very anti-establishment, and very anti-corporate and everything else. But you know what? He came out of the womb that way. That is what I discovered. I went back to some of his earliest interviews, even earlier than the ones in the books. And this guy is in his late 20s, even earlier, college stuff. And he's still talking the way that he talks now. He came out on fire and ready to destroy everything. And it's not like it's years of being in the film industry that turned him into this guy. No, he's always been the Toxic Avenger since day one, ready to destroy whatever he sees as evil, even right out of the gate. And it was kind of amazing to see that. This guy is 25, 26, just getting started in films. And already he's like, fuck this, fuck that, Hollywood, corporate, blah, blah, like right from day one. So one thing you got to give him, he is Mr. Consistency. He is the guy who never sold out, even when he was younger. So
I'll take that. Thank you very much. Thank you.
True, you know it.
By the way, Mathew has a really good book about Comic-Con. It's extremely many pages. Apparently now publishers weekly, publishers generally are requiring authors to make short books. All the novels that won the Booker Prize this year were under 300 pages,
Wow.
except for one novel that was a Yiddish novel or something, obscure. So you can see the fact that this book, Comic-Con, nobody's going to do that again. And it's a wonderful.
Only Fantagraphics is crazy enough to do this like 700-page crazy book.
Well, that's a must stop. The Troma booth at Comic-Con. That's what I love about Troma is you are everywhere at the film market, at Cannes, at all the places where you would think you wouldn't be. And the anti-corporate, I've always been that. For me, it comes from being Gen X and punk rock. So, and I think we've seen how bad corporatism it's gotten today. It's gotten way worse. We have so many questions. Our chat is on fire. Want to ask you both questions.
Hold on one thing. Grammy Kaufman, Grammy Kaufman, about whom I wrote in my first book. And my first book that I wrote was written by James Gunn, of course. But we talked about Grammy Kaufman. She gave me these books to read that predicted the sandcastle dissolving from within, basically. But I most of this stuff I read as a very young boy. Was a beautiful young boy, as a matter of fact. And I went to all boys schools, and a lot of this is just because I am a bourgeois, lucky enough to have my parents give me a decent education, which Americans cannot get anymore unless they're in the elite, like Chris Gore. You can't get educated and get a decent education. Matt Klickstein is well educated, but most of the people out in the street, we got 30% of New Yorkers who cannot get staples. They can't get staples. How are they going to clip their term papers together? For Christ's sake. Anyway, enough. I'm sorry.
Here we go.
That's why I did an entire book of interviews on the man.
Grammy Kaufman was really very unique, a butcher's daughter, but she read everything and everything she predicted. Vitamin C, all these things from her friends like Linus Pauling. I met all these great people who nobody remembers. Nobel Prize winners. I met two of them. Anyway, the point is I've been infected with the truth, as Chris said. And the only truth I think the only lie is that about talent. Do I have any talent? And I don't care. Chris Gore likes me. Mr. Klickstein has written a book, so I'm okay with that. And been able to survive thanks to Michael Hers.
Rudy, who is a member for 5, says, Lloyd, I thought you'd be in a madhouse by now. Can we have another rock Nukem High, please, sir?
Well, good news. And thank you for that very good question. Right now, we are developing the Henpire Strikes Back, Poultrygeist Part 2. The
Henpire Strikes Back.
Mercedes Muse will direct it, and it will. In fact, Andrew, who works with Mathew on this book, publicizing the book, my assistant, he's producing, and it's going to be great. It'd be the women's Poultrygeist, Price of Eggs. It's still contemporary. And we'll guarantee you we won't make money with it, but it'll go on Troma now, and which is growing because the movies are good. They're not, I'm not saying anybody the mainstream is bad.
By the way, Troma Trauma Now is the Trauma streaming services. It's $5. You have no excuse to not get it. I also Charlie Band's Full Moon is like $5. $8.24. There is a blissful chaos to this interview. Thank you, $8. MK Solid says, is that an Egghead software shirt?
You're damn right it is. Oh yeah.
Nice.
See, I knew if I went on Chris Gore's show, somebody would recognize the sweater. I've had this thing for a year. I've had 1 or 3 people come up to me and go, is that an Egghead software sweater? Nobody ever gets it. But I knew going on Chris Gore, I had to wear the sweater. It's not even cold right now. I was like, I'm gonna wear some geek flag stuff right now, man. And it's
that's nothing. That's nothing, Mathew. I got an authentic bootleg. I got a bootleg, authentic bootleg, Sergeant Kabuki Man, NYPD, embroidered, very beautiful, authentic bootleg. That's great. I'm happy with that.
No, and it was a tariff-free sweater. It was a tariff-free sweater too.
It's a human. I don't know about that, but I'm a human billboard.
Olivier Quay says Lloyd Kaufman cameos will make up for the loss of Stan Lee. Yeah, we all miss Stan Lee. Solomon Thornton, Sir Lloyd, any advice for beginning a film career?
Well, Mathew, I'll take this one. I think there's one crossroad. James Gunn made the crossroad, crossed it. Robert Frost talks about the road of poetry, the road not taken. That's one I took. James Gunn, who's brilliant and a wonderful person, he wanted the red carpet, and he's incredibly talented. So talent will out, in spite of Rupert Murdoch and all the evil Trumps. James is a great guy, and every $200 million movie he's made comes from his heart, soul, and his other orifices, and they're great. And so that's another way. But I went this crazy way, and I'm sure James's way is just as crazy.
Or buy our books, buy Lloyd's and mine's books about movie making, and then you'll know exactly how to make a movie.
That's
good. All your problems.
Basically, to thine own self be true. It coined a phrase coined by one William Shakespeare, who, by the way, as Chris Gore will tell you, wrote the amazing best-selling book, 101 best-selling screenplay titles. Very good.
And also can be seen in Shakespeare Shitstorm. Don't forget.
Yes. Yeah, the Bard is in that.
Lloyd, I listened to the commentary for one of my favorite commentaries you ever did was for a movie called Citizen Toxie, one of the Tox Avenger. You are just lying throughout the commentary. Like, we got Brad Pitt for this scene. You're like just bullshitting through the whole thing like it's completely true. It is. I'm dying. They're like, they're listen to the commentaries where Lloyd bullshits and has fun. He, not thinking someone like myself would actually listen to the commentary. Geek Truth 64 says, I remember Lloyd Kaufman in the last Blockbuster documentary. Loved the Blockbuster counterpoint for indie video rental stores. A question from the nerd far away. Hail, gentlemen. Where is a good place to start if I want to make my own damn movie? I would say read Lloyd's book for sure, and then listen to DVD commentary. But Lloyd, what do you say?
Well, certainly you want to follow and listen to Chris Gore's podcast. Actually, you can watch it. Go back in the past. There's a lot of far more intelligent people than I that can teach you. But I think the key is you can't stop. Whatever you're going to do, you got to be driven. You got to be obsessed, and try to do what's in your heart and soul, and maybe your anus, and do it. Finish it. Whatever it is. The hardest thing in the world is, as Mathew Klickstein will tell you, is to make a movie. It's anyone who gets one done. I'm so Chris. You've made movies. I mean, it's a hell on earth.
Don't talk about it, do it. And last question before we let you guys go. Aid Ellis 24 says, and I wanted to ask this question. Thank you, Aid Ellis. We've long been waiting for the release of the Toxic Avenger remake that Troma co-produced. Is there any update on its release, and what are Lloyd's thoughts on the final product? Okay, so when is that movie going to come out? The Toxic Avenger remake?
Well, first of all, AIDS, and thank you for asking the question. It's a reimagining by Macon Blair, and it's totally different. Toxic Avenger. It still has Tromaville. The fans love it. There were about 25 focus groups, and they had some. The big shots had some for. They actually had, they hire companies to do the focus group, and they had a couple for trauma fans where they appealed to trauma fans, and the trauma fans loved it. And the people off the street gave it 87 to 92%, whatever, so it was well received. I would say it's better than the original Toxie. It's according to Cineverse, who are the distributors for Legendary, who really put up all this $50 million. Although I put up the flight to Bulgaria to be in the film, I paid for that. But they're very nice. They were really nice to us. They couldn't find a distributor. It's the film that they wouldn't let you see. But finally, they found Cineverse, and it's going to open Labor Day, according to Cineverse, 2,000 locations.
So, okay, the Toxic Avenger remake with reimagining with Peter Dinklage opens Labor Day, a $50 million budget, and then, Lloyd kicks in a flight to Bulgaria, and there is a cameo, so look for Lloyd. I'm there day one. Yeah, I'm there day one. And I talked to someone who was in the focus group. They said they loved it.
Oh, good. Oh, great.
They loved it. Hey, Mathew, Lloyd, thank you for joining us today. The book is the Lloyd Kaufman interviews. Please full screen that. There it is. It exists. It's out from it's out from what again?
University Press in Mississippi, but you should be able to get it at any bookstore, hardcover or paperback or ebook. And even though I always say support your local bookstores and comic book shops, please do that. Still do a review on Amazon though, because it helps push the recommendation algorithm when we can't pay people to do it ourselves like the big publishers do. So support your local bookstore.
It's a good idea. Yeah. Thank you, Mathew.
And thank you, Lloyd, just for being a source of inspiration. And thank you, Mathew. I expect
that
we'll
get thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you for
zero emails. Mathew,
yes,
zero emails.
Done until the next project.
Until the next book. And I don't mind. It's all good. It's all good. Hey, thanks you guys. And Lloyd, please come back when Toxic Avenger comes out.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. And Mr. Eng, thank you.
Thank you,
Alan.
You're very quiet, Alan.
I know. There's so much going on in this interview. I'm like, you don't need a fourth voice to kind of bring it.
That's all good. It's all good. All right. Take care, you guys. I'll see you around Labor Day for Toxic Avenger. Love you guys. Later. That was awesome. I love Lloyd. He's always.
I know, man. It was like like directing traffic, and I'm like, I just let it play out.
Yeah, and everyone's saying nice things. Look at the chat, super fun. We've interviewed Lloyd before, and I agree. Lloyd is a national treasure. I agree. He's one of the last true indies. We should do, because we do an award show, Alan. What do you think? What do you think if Lloyd received the Indie Icon Award at next year's award? This.
Yes. I mean, with Toxie coming out, that would be a perfect tie in there.
It would. Yeah. And this is your final reminder to watch Film Threats Oscars Watch Party on Sunday, March 2nd with, first of all, it'll be with Gary from Nerdrotic, with Verbal Riot, Dante James, with Angry Badger, and without Heel versus Babyface. He is, we wish him luck in all his endeavors. So join us Sunday, and then we're back with Versus on Monday. Alan, what's going on this weekend? I'm going to the horse races. and I'm going to see a bunch of movies, and I'm going to finish up Daredevil.
Yes. Well, I'm going to be watching a lot of movies too, and then we've got a long week of streaming next week, so starting on Sunday.
Absolutely. So it's going to be a lot of fun on Sunday for the watch party. And you know what? Things may go wrong on this show. Mistakes may be made, but our job is to entertain you, let you know about movies that maybe not everyone is talking about, like I Heart Willie, to bring you interviews with filmmakers and indie icons. The purpose and mission of this channel, we cover the big stories, Star Wars, Marvel, Disney, but we let you in on things you may not know about, give you early peeks, our honest opinion about things like Daredevil, Born Again, and little indie movies like that dumb marriage movie that Alan was forced to review that we both agreed. I didn't see it. I thought it was terrible. Alan did see it. He thought it was terrible. We'll be honest. I do like to see things I have opinions about, but your description of it convinced me. So I'm trying to give the little come here, Timmy lesson for today's episode. Do you have a lesson, Alan?
Thanks, Dad. No, you're perfect, Chris. You do everything right.
I never claim that. I never claim that. I just
don't call it up publicly. That's all.
No, it's all. Look, it's this thing. The one thing is we can't have dead air. That's my only thing. I don't care if we make mistakes.
Yeah, but you just
that
can't.
Is normal.
To create the dead air.
I went to the bathroom and had to get coffee. I was killing
without
time.
a single word of warning.
And I thought that just you recognize I'm not there. When you're not talking, I'm talking to Phil Time. And
no,
Phil
you're telling me get all the posters. I'm trying to download
get all the posters. You can talk while you're doing it. You can say like can you do two things at once? Practice that. Just two things at once. You know, like I'm looking for posters while let me tell you about my family's restaurant.
Yeah.
I actually like those stories. Let me review the pizza and burgers at AMC.
Yeah, but I prepped for
that. You don't have to
prep. This weekend I'll go on a walk and I'll chew
gum.
you,
Lord Thoth.
I'll chew gum while I'm taking that walk. And we'll just take baby steps here.
Yeah. Oh my God. A serious man. Here he is. A serious man impersonating me at events.
Yeah.
Chris is tired of emails.
I have a picture.
I dropped a short of people asking Chris about their emails from the G&G meetup. Oh, that's great. We should show that. Yeah, we'll watch it. Hey, a serious man, DM me or send me the video. Please, Daddy's not again. Look, if we are going to make mistakes, I will make it entertaining. And also, what's even better, I love when Alan gives it back to me. I love that. It's funny.
Yeah.
Gary may need to take a manage. What?
Anyways,
Baltine casking, says Patrick Lemire. Oh my God, we had a couple soups come in at the last minute.
Yes, Pilgrim Media. When will the Disney doc be online? Oh, Stolen Kingdom.
It is now, but only for 10 days.
Yeah, you have to subscribe to. You have to become a member of Slamdance with $50 for the year, and you'll have access.
Or I think it's $10 for a month.
Yeah, well, go to the website and find out.
Go to the website.
Yeah,
just Google Slamdance Film Festival. Download the Slamdance app. You can watch Stolen Kingdom now, but it will be officially out, I would guess, before the end of the year, and will probably be an award this nominee.
Yeah.
So that's it for us. Guys, roll with the punches. We have fun. And just know, Alan is not getting a pink slip. He's not getting, he's too essential. He's not going away. What do you do when you have trouble in a marriage? You work it out. You don't leave your spouse. You work it out. There you go.
You just sent me give me 5 things I did this week?
Yeah. What are 5 things? You can't answer. All I can say is this. I don't need to ask Alan because I read the website. I see the fruits of his work like exist. I don't need to ask Alan that question. He is so hardworking. I only have praise for Alan. So
if there are only 5 reviews from me the past week, then
that would be a slow week. He is. Yeah, I don't need to ask Alan. I see the fruits of his labor in like the real world. I don't need to ask Alan that question. Although, if you have to ask anyone that question, they're probably not very good at their job. Hey, see you on Sunday. See you on Monday. Thank you to our mod, Lord Thoth. We appreciate all our mods. And we'll be back. And look, sometimes it's not always smooth sailing, but we stick together. We will.
Thank you. And thank you, Greg. He came here from.
Not enough from her.
Just lost a whole bunch of your.
We just lost. All right, Alan.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, finally.